Whenever I lose, I always have to take responsibility. I always have to be accountable for my actions. And today, what I did was the same thing I did a couple days ago, where I literally ignored what I should have been doing, which is fine, right? I took a loss today. Fine, that's okay. But why did I take the loss? And it's just to me right now, I'm upset at myself, but I want to come at this as being as unbiased as possible. I actually want to come at this as like my girlfriend speaks to me whenever I do something that I'm not happy about, right? Because I feel like that's the best way to learn. Looking at yourself and saying, oh, you were dumb, you were stupid, you should have done this, you should have done that, blah, 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 that's not going to help you. All you're doing is putting yourself down. And that's something that I've been doing today after I took this trade. Looking at the trade, I can see why I took it. It's not that it was completely poor. If we look here, we can see, okay, we've been bullish this whole time, right? But I always look at how the session is going at this moment in time after 2 hours of volume profile. We're clearly bearish, right? Lower high, lower high. This can count as like a lower high, but at this time, I wanted to see how we moved. 8 o'clock candle comes in, that's a telltale sign that we're heading lower. But we immediately buy it up on high volume. I was so like excited, I guess you could say. Again, this normally is a good setup. The reason why I'm looking at this is because, again, you can say double bottom, right? And we follow through, high volume. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with this setup. However, when I came into the session about 7:55 before I started trading, I set an alert down here at the low of the session, and I set an alert 1 ATR before value area high. Why is that? Because I know coming in that I'm looking for a short. I am not looking for a long, but this swayed me. This made me, not, it made me, nothing made me, but this swayed me into going long here, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, this could be the bottom, and we could be heading higher at least to this point, maybe a little bit higher. So I put my risk. We were trying to get $500. We entered. In fact, let's look at the executions. That way, I'm not cheating myself or cheating my journal. Look at the executions. And we bought there, and you can see what happened. We ended up losing, right? Fine. That's okay. That's fine. My issue was that I went against my original plan. So I have to hold myself accountable. Why did you go against your original plan? What told you to go against your original plan? Especially after I just took the loss a couple days ago, that practically the same thing happened because what happened here was we get to VWAP, okay, small rejection, doji, indecision. We come down high volume. This should have been my entry to the downside, right? One ATR at the time was about 4. I think ATR was about 4.2. So one ATR away, I think it was at like 117.4 or 114.7, something like that. I can't remember. My alert triggered here as I was in this trade. And I was like, oh, okay, well, if we push past here, we can head higher, which is true, but we didn't. That should have been my short right here on that candle, maybe off a pullback here, right? And that should have been it. And I should be short. I should be short. I should be short. And it continues, and we actually end up going lower. So that I continue to do this to myself. And that is why I need to hold myself accountable. That is why I need to be responsible because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And I don't want to hit this wall where it's like, okay, well, you can't get over the hump. You can't get to that $2,000 buffer, right? Because we're back down again. It's fine. It doesn't matter. We still have so much to play with, right? But I don't want to get to that point anymore where I'm like, okay, we're losing because of our mistakes. I just want to lose because it didn't work. The strategy didn't work. We know what we should be doing in that aspect. We know what we should be doing at that point. We know it. So why are we going against it? What is the reasoning? The root cause. Well, let's talk about a few things first so that way I can explain why I felt the way that I did. The root cause as to why I did what I did today was anxiety. And I really do believe that my mental state today was a precursor into how I traded today. Now, I stuck to the plan in terms of the trades. Not my original thesis, but like making sure I hit my stop loss, making sure I hit majority loss, right? So we didn't lose as much as we could have. Um, but it really just stemmed from, well, I'm not comfortable shorting. And the same thing happened to me when I started trading MNQ as well. When I started trading MNQ, I had so much of a long bias. In fact, initially, I didn't really care about long or shorts. I was just like, whatever, I just feel like this is a good trade. But as I continued to trade and continued to trade, I realized that I just am so uncomfortable going short. But I finally got over that and I was like, I need to go short. And I started doing it and I started having some success. Now is the same thing with gold, right? Because gold moves so quickly. And when you see candles like these at this time on high volume, you're thinking like, okay, we're good. We're off value area lows. We're fine. Let's ignore this bias. Let's ignore us heading lower. We're going to start popping off, right? Because gold has been doing that. Gold has absolutely been doing that. But that is not how I trade. That is not That is not what has led me to be successful this month. That is not what has shown to work through back testing and forward testing and everything that's happened in the last couple months. So it is my fault. And I need to be responsible. I need to hold myself accountable. I need to say, Vic, this was not good trading. This right here is fine if you're in a bullish trend. But what you did today was wrong. You know it was wrong. And you did the same thing Sunday night. So, what do you have to do in order for yourself to come back stronger? What do you have to do in order for yourself to say, you know what, I am not going to trade like that again. I am going to stick to my original thesis. I am going to stick to the daily trend. I am not going to waver. I am going to stick to it because I know that's what makes me profitable. And it's a rookie mistake. It honestly is. It's just one of those things that, again, comes with time and experience. I've only been trading gold for like a couple weeks now, I think. Maybe 3 weeks. I can't even remember anymore. But it's like, you just have to understand that these are the things that will cost you. These are the things that will not allow you to get to where you want to go, which is taking another good payout, which is getting over that $2,000 balance, which is hopefully bringing it up to $4,000. Because if you erase these two trades, and I just was patient on this day, and I went with my bias on this day, same thing. If I went with my bias on this day, you'd be sitting pretty this week. And again, it's not about the money, but it's about the process. And so far this week, I'm 33% from the field, as they would say in basketball, if you're 1 for 3. And I'm not shooting well. I'm not shooting well. And like I was saying earlier, my anxiety today what played a huge factor in that. And I think that comes from work too. Work has been very stressful. Tomorrow and Friday, I will have a very stressful day at work. I have so many things going on. I thought that after my presentation was over, I'd feel better. That is not the case. So I need to be able to manage that. I need to go and meditate and read some more stoicism and allow myself to kind of calm down. But I just have not handled it well, and it led into what happened today. And I know that there are certain things that make it more of a probability that I will lose, and my anxiety was the key factor into that today. So, but with all that being said, if I had just followed the plan, I wouldn't have lost. Anxiety wouldn't have mattered in that scenario, and I would have been fine. So I think it goes both ways. I never want to sit up here and say I'm going to blame someone or something because going through all my trades, whenever I lose, 90 to 95% of the time, it is my fault why I lost. It is no one else's fault. It's no one else's fault. 90 to 95% of the time, it is my fault why I lost. So if I'm losing because of me, I have no one else to blame, and I'll never blame the market, right? It's my fault why I lost. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say today, guys. It was frustrating for myself because just looking at this, I'm like, man, that would have been such a nice trade if I just stuck to the plan, taken it right here, and come all the way down. I mean, that's like 30 points. Wow, what a win that would have been. But I can't be too upset. I can't hold it against myself. We just have to say, you know what, Vic, that was poor decision making, but accept it and move on. So that's one of the things I have a problem with is being able to let go. But you have to let go and let live. You have to be able to do that as a trader because you're going to take so many more losses. And sometimes a loss, it just happens. It's just a statistical part of what you do. But when it's your fault, it makes it so much harder to be able to accept it. But you have to. You have to. So, anyway, guys, that's it for this video today. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you guys are trading well. And hopefully, you guys are ending the week strong, sticking to your proper process, your decision making, sticking to all of your rules. As this week has shown, I have just kind of fallen off. Two out of the three trades, I've just not been on it. But I hope to bounce back tomorrow. And then hopefully next week, the last week of October, we just stick to everything we're supposed to do. Hopefully by Halloween, we're able to follow all of our process, all of our trades, and that will hopefully result in getting over that $2,000 balance and getting into that point where, okay, you can take your first $1,000 payout. Okay, you can finally build the balance up to $3,000 and then go from there. But that's what we need to do. If we're able to do that, I can promise you right now, we will be happy by the end of the month and we will do everything that we've wanted to do, right? So, but yeah, guys, that's it for this video today. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you guys are trading well. And yeah, keep trading stoically. I'll see you guys in the next video.